everybody. I want to start by acknowledging how deeply frustrating this temporary return to remote is. Everybody has followed protocol, and yes, occasionally pods will need to close or sections of pods. In this rare circumstance, the impact had a wider effect on the school community as a whole, and we have learned from that so as to prevent a reoccurrence. The challenge in reality is that we can work very, very hard to control this virus, but there will be times that the virus is going to control our circumstances. For now, we recognize the mutual responsibility of faculty, staff, and families to make sure we can continue to celebrate life on 61st Street. I am confident that we can do this. At this point, I have spoken to approximately a third of the parent body. We are working hard to schedule these as quickly as we can, and I am enjoying these discussions enormously. They're helping me to hear the parent voice as clearly as I can, and helping to highlight what is important to families as we look forward to the next 3 to 5 years. We're also beginning to move forward on a detailed strategic plan. This project will involve families, faculty, trustees, administrators, and even alum families. You will hear a great deal more about this, but as we begin to think strategically about supporting and promoting Gateway's future, I want you to know that all voices, families, faculty, staff, and alums will be heard. Along the same points, we begin our self-study next year as we prepare for our 10-year NICEA's evaluation the following year. For those of you who are not familiar, NICEA stands for New York State Association of Independent Schools. All of this tells me that Gateway is well armed and well prepared to think not only about thriving in our present, but excelling in our future. As I listen to families, there are a few themes that reappear. They are not the only ones, but there are 3 that I want to address today. I know many families question the role of homework, the amount of homework, and the approach to homework. This happens in every school. At Gateway, teaching and learning happen through direct, explicit instruction. Now, there is a role for homework, to be sure. It is meant to reinforce and to practice and to build independence. It is not meant to teach, and it is not meant to prepare our students for high school beyond building their stamina and to developing great fluidity and confidence in their independent work habits, which will develop with each passing year. There is significant research that states homework before the age of 8, give or take, there's no purpose to it whatsoever. There is no value to it. It does not help reinforce anything. Beyond that, approximately 10 minutes per grade is often a good rule of thumb. Now, based on that rule of 10, 12th graders should not have more than 2 hours of homework per night, and the average 6th grader should certainly not have more than an hour. More than that has no positive effect. Indeed, it may have negative ones. I know when I go home at night, I have work to do. It is work that is meaningful, and it's work that I love, but everyone should have time to leave work aside. That is also true for our children. It is a need and it is a right. Our children, at least in more traditional circumstances, have really busy lives, including after-school lives. We want them connecting to what matters to them, from hobbies such as Legos or dancing to talking with their friends, both in and out of Gateway. We also want them to have time with their families. We also, heaven help us, want them to have time to be bored. I know, I hate that too as a parent, but it matters. Time that is not structured, planned, or carefully considered has meaning, even if it does not feel momentarily pleasant to a young child, an early teen, or their parent or caregiver. This is as relevant and necessary for their brains and intellectual and social functioning as any after-school work may be. of course. We will continue to talk about homework over the coming months and years. And if your child's homework is regularly too easy, too hard, or doesn't feel that it's meeting their needs in some way, by all means, talk with your child's teacher. But please keep this in perspective. 2, I know many parents are eager to have more individualized text available in their child's report card. We are considering that. Some of you may remember that up until a few years ago, that was the norm. But I want to share a perspective I have as both a parent and as an educator. The specific, concrete rubric provides more detailed information than 12 pages of subjective prose. It is more valuable to high school transcript offices. The secret, of course, is knowing how to read it. Please know, we expect most children to have checks covering a full range. Now, while it's tempting to ask, why aren't all those checks on the right, as that may be the goal for a lot of parents, it's better to look for themes. Are many of those checks referring to the issues of comprehension, or are they more about issues regarding efforts? Are they more about contents or about approach to learning? These are some of the themes to look for. Certainly, you want to see some checks on the right, but checks further to the left on a student's report card provide a clear sense as to the next set of goals. Most students will see a wide range of checks. Remember, these are not letter grades. The text we provide is about the material that has been taught, so you have some context for these marks. Now, I know there is a great deal of information in both the cover letter and the report card. Moving forward, we are considering an overall statement for each child. Stay tuned on that. As always, we want to focus not only on what our program offers and what we are teaching, but most importantly, how your child is benefiting from the program and what your child needs to focus on. We're going to address that, and I thank you for those thoughts. Along the same lines, third, parent conferences. We have adjusted the schedule for the March conferences and are thinking about how we share information with you. I know, based on some of the conversations I've had with you, that again, you want information about your child, what sort of trajectory he or she is on, and how they are responding to our program. We want to be able to share expectations with you and look carefully at how they match your own expectations from your child. That matters to everybody, as it should. Now, as I look at all of these topics, there are many quotes I reflect on from families I've spoken with. And many of those quotes, quite frankly, celebrate Gateway. But perhaps a recent discussion is one that is resonating particularly clearly with me. That parent said of Gateway about her child, quote, "They get her. I know she is seen. The system is set up for these students, and that makes all the difference in the world to me." End quote. Well, I couldn't have put that better myself. You know, Gateway is a moment in time. Like raising children, the days may go slowly, but the years go fast. I encourage you, do not feel the need to rush through this gift. The more time your child has to benefit from scaffolding and structure, the more your child will be ready to take on that next step. When they graduate, and I can say this from experience, our children are self-advocates, independent and fluid learners, and they have in their toolkits what they need to be successful in all things. All they need to do is open that toolkit and pull out the tool they need. For now, they need time to pack that toolkit so it's filled with everything they require. We are here for that. I can only tell you how wonderful it was to be back in the building, even for a short period of time, and how much I'm looking forward to returning again shortly. A school is not a school until the halls are filled with laughter. Then there are occasional shouts of, "Aha, I get it." And of course, constant chatter. A school is just a building until you can walk past classrooms of raised hands, giggles, and questions, even on Zoom. A school is just a space until educators can gather, questioning and guiding one another with the sole purpose of the happiness, growth, and well-being of our children. For now, they will not be gathering closely, but they will still be talking about what it is we all need to help our students thrive. That is my promise to you. As one parent said to me the other day, Gateway's promise is incredible. We will deliver on that promise. See you soon.